Hello my friends! Today we're going to make a masculine scene card using some watercolor pencils, which is a little bit different for me. We're starting with watercolor paper here, and I'm going to use my aqua painter, and I'm just adding water to the entire sheet of paper here just to get it moist. And then I'm simply taking my colored pencils and I am just scribbling atop the moistened paper. No real technique, I am really just scribbling. So I added the blue here for the sky, and now I'm just going to make the land or the dirt here. So I'm using this orange brown color, and then I'm taking a darker brown and I'm just coloring the top of it. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of green just to make it a little bit earthy. And then I'm going to go back over all this with my aqua painter again with water just to blend it out and make it softer. And then after I finished that, I simply took my heat gun and I just heat set it so that it would dry so that I could start stamping. So you can see the watercolor look here. And this is my old camping stamp set that I'm so glad I never got rid of. I stamped the tent in natural ivory cardstock and just cut it out. And then I have the trees. I just double mounted it on my block so that I could just stamp a little bit more quickly. And I'm just stamping it in Wild Wasabi ink from Stampin' Up. And I'm just going to stamp the large tree first, and then I'm going to stamp the small tree secondly. And I am stamping off a little bit so I get a lighter color green as well. So I have two different green colors. So here's the large tree again, and then I just simply flip my block over to stamp the smaller tree. This just saves me a little bit of time, and I don't have to switch blocks. After I have my tree stamped, I came back with a brown marker to color in the stem. Again, this is a nice little time-saving trick, so I don't have to color my stamp each time to get these two different colors on my image. So I'm just using a brown marker and coloring right over my stamped image to get the brown tree trunks. And then these little birds are from an Up, Up, and Away set from Stampin' Up. And rather than just stamp it multiple times as it is, it would look too much like a pattern. So I'm just stamping now the individual little bird image just to get a little more random images here so it doesn't look like a stamp. I'm just wiping off the ink on the other bird images just so I can get the individual birds to stamp them. And here's my card base, and I cut down our scene, and I'm just going to add a little bit of these Wild Wasabi little scraps to the edges just to add a nice little border to help frame the scene that we just created. And then I thought the background looked a little plain, so I'm using crumb cake ink with this chevron background stamp from Lawn Fawn just to give a little bit more interest to the background. And then I'm just going to adhere our scene right atop our card front. And this is a sentiment from a Hero Art stamp set. Just says thank you, and I'm using black StazOn ink. A little off camera there, sorry about that. And then I took the tent that I cut out and I just used dimensionals to add it right here in the center of our scene. And then I just trimmed off the little bit of excess that I had hanging over the card, and that completes this card. I hope you enjoyed this masculine scene card using my watercolor pencils. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.